Hi everyone. I wanted to start off talking a little bit about the assignments that came in. I was very impressed with the quality of the work, so that was good. First of all, I wanted to start to explain why I asked for a Word doc as opposed to a PDF. And the reason for that is that I can turn on that show all feature, and I can see if people are maybe not using the tools that are available. So trying to save you a little bit of time. So one of the things I often find, people don't use that insert page break feature, and they just keep hitting multiple returns to go to like the reference page. So you know what happens with that. When you go and make changes in the body of the work, it moves the reference page up and down and all over. So if you just use the insert page break, new page, and that'll save you a whole lot of time. A lot of people, well, maybe not a lot, but there's several people that aren't using the hanging indent tool that's available in the paragraphs. So it's a great tool. Formats the hanging indent for you, so you don't have to hit return and tab and everything. Another tool that it doesn't seem a lot of people really know about. In fact, I didn't learn about it until I had an editor help me with my doctoral dissertation, is the Keep with Next feature. And what that does is, if you have a heading that is on one page and then the whole body of the paragraph is on another page, well, it keeps it together so they just kind of hang together and looks a little bit nicer. I don't fault anybody for all these things. I'm just trying to save you, a little bit of time and some aggravation. Okay, so here's some of the issues. You may or may not have seen me comment on your paper. Is using the word vary. Don't. It's considered lazy. I really like the way Mark Twain put it. He said, when you edit, cross out all the instances of where you have the word vary and replace it with the word damn. Then on your next edit, remove all the swear words. So it's something that you really want to remove from your academic writing. You want to be a little bit more precise, So instead of saying something, I was very angry, use the word irate. That's an example. I have a link somewhere to a website. I'll have to go and find it, and it gives you a million different ideas of appropriate words to use. So that might be helpful. Most of you are doing pretty good with the title page, so that's cool. The few people are having trouble with the running head. On the title page, you put in the words running head, colon, and then the actual head. The head itself is capitalized, all capitalized. The words running head are not. And then subsequent pages in your paper will just have the head. Okay, if you don't know how to do that, let me know. I think I put some instructions out maybe, but let me know because, that's what I'm here for, to help. Few of you are still using the heading introduction. We haven't done that since, I think, APA 5. So I think the reason that they got rid of that is that the assumption is the first bit of your paper would be the introduction. So don't use that anymore. What you do instead, start your paper and put in the title of it at the top of that new page when you're starting your paper. And it is considered a title. It is not a heading, so it's not bolded. It is centered on the page. And after that, the first heading that you use, of course, will be a level 1 heading. Let's see. One of the things that I've noticed with a lot of people is the correct format for headings in APA. Look up the rules for when you capitalize the first letter of each word in a title. And what else have we got? Support. You need to support your assertions. If you're saying something, then where did you find that? Where did you learn about it? So make sure you provide that. Another thing I wanted to point out is just to make sure that only the sources that you've used in the body of your paper, people that you've referenced, they're the only folks that should appear on the reference page. Okay, so you don't put anything on the reference page if it's not in the body of the work. And don't ask me why, but we don't bold the heading references. I think they just do this stuff to make us crazy. So, but anyway, that's the way it is. You want to edit carefully for punctuation. Some of you have the habit of finishing your sentence and putting the period in, and then opening the brackets and putting the citation after it. It's kind of confusing. You have to kind of really stop and think, is that supposed to go with the preceding or the next? So put that period at the very end, okay? Another thing, you want to avoid using contractions in academic writing. These are all piggy little things, that we learn along the way that, we should do or shouldn't do. So instead of saying can't, you would say cannot, will not, all that, obviously. Another thing to remember, and I know it's very easy for us to slide into this, but you need to write in a simple, straightforward style. Eliminate all slang, jargon, and colloquialisms. Sometimes these words aren't even real words, I think, that we use in the business world. So you want to avoid that. And good papers are not written using overly academic styles. Although, you want to remember to write in a scholarly fashion and avoid taking too much of a conversational tone. And I know it can be difficult when you have a paper where you're talking about what you're doing, what you think, and what you feel. So just, don't slide over into, too conversational a tone. Another thing I found I was making note of on a lot of the papers is when you start a new paragraph, and you introduce an author, and of course the date of the publication follows the name. If you're still in the same still in the same paragraph, and you're referring to that person, you don't need to repeat the citation, repeat the date of the publication. You don't even need to repeat the name of the author. You could, if it makes sense and it's flowing along, once you introduce them, you could say, oh, he or she goes on to say that, so we know you're still talking about that person. When you go to the next paragraph and you're using the same author, it starts all over again. Another thing is, if you say something like research suggests, you're really suggesting plurality. So in that case, you should probably provide at least 3 references for support of that sort of a comment. And that basically covers some of the issues that I have seen. But if you have any questions about any of them, anything that I've said here, or anything that I put on your paper, let me know, and I can hopefully clarify it for you. I really, although it was a long week of marking, I really enjoy seeing some of the things that you people are planning to do with the curriculum. It's going to be an interesting semester, I think, for all of us, really, me included. One last thing, we have a new learner that has just joined us, and her name is Vanessa Brooker, and don't know if any of you have worked with her before, but she'll likely be looking for a learning partner. And if you can reach out, if you don't, I think everybody has a learning partner at this point. But if you don't, or if you don't mind adding a third member, that would be really kind of cool. Okay, so week 4 we're starting, and I think it's a really great topic and a really important issue that we need to be very aware of, especially here in Canada. And again, especially if you're creating curriculum for schools that are in large cities like Toronto, Vancouver, where Montreal, wherever you are. And I really look forward to moving on. I can't believe we're in week 4 already, but there you go. So anyway, let me know if there's any questions, any issues with the papers, and we'll go on from there. Thanks a lot.